So here we are going to talk about the new requirements which are going to be introduced. As we also know, this January we are also going to receive a salary increase of 23%, and that's also going to reflect in the affordabilities. So if we don't put certain measures in place, a time may come we will not be able to serve some members. So as a result, we've come up with new loan requirements going forward. So if you look at it in terms of the minimum contribution required, the minimum contribution period required to access a loan for existing members, that for members, if I'm saying that for members, if it's 6 months, and then for the current it has not changed, and the 6 months still exists for the existing members. For members who exit the fund and then they want to come back, at least it's not ideal for somebody to also put his money there for someone to also come and then also take it, because we've exited, we've taken your money and we are coming back. So now the condition is that if you exit and we are coming back, it means that we have to do a minimum of 12 months before you can be reinstated. Then contribution to loan ratio currently is at 10% for all members, but now we are moving it to 15% for new and existing members. Members will say that why is it that we are moving it to 15%? For example, if we are new entrants and we are joining the fund, and then previously you are supposed to do 50 Ghana cedis, okay, which means that to qualify for the 6 months, your total if you are doing the minimum, your total contribution will be 300. Now, if you are doing 100 Ghana cedis, in fact, within the 6 months you do 600 Ghana cedis. So, like, the change is not going to have any impact, but in a way, we should be able to also serve other members, and that's the reason why we are upping the contribution to loan ratio from 10 to 15%. If you are an exit member and you come back, for that one, your total contribution to loan ratio should be 20%. Then minimum monthly contribution to access a loan. For personal loan, currently it's 1% of the loan amount, or the maximum threshold of 150. And then if you pick the investment capital to, it's either 1% of the loan amount or the maximum threshold for the contribution of 150. And then habitat is 1% of the loan amount, and then in terms of the maximum threshold for the monthly contribution of 150. Now, for the personal loan, the new one will be the same 1% or 200 Ghana cedis. So if we are assessing any amount more than 150 Ghana cedis, because previously, other than that, like, your contribution will be 150. Now you have to do 200 Ghana cedis. So any amount between 200 and then 20,000 and then 35,000, your contribution should be 200. Then when it comes to the investment capital loan, it's the lower of the 1% and then amount, and then of the 250 Ghana cedis. But let's assume that you are applying for investment capital loan and the amount you are looking for is probably within the personal loan threshold. Then it means that your contribution should be limited to 200. So let's assume that you are taking 35,000, which is the maximum threshold for the personal loan. Then your total contribution, that's your contribution per month, will be 200, not 250. So if you look down, saying that the ceiling for the personal loan applies, where amount is limited to the threshold, the personal loan threshold. So for habitat, the minimum that's monthly contribution of that's the 1%, and then the maximum amount required is 300. and where the amount is within the threshold for the other loan product.